Well, in 1977, I was moved to Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia, and the Yerkes Primary Center was working on a big project with NASA. They were training monkeys to do things in spaceships, and I was supposed to do the pathology on the monkeys that would get sick or die. It was December, it was the holidays, and all the people who'd been there for years and years and years went on vacation and left me, the new guy, to do the pathology. Well, it turns out that a baby monkey, 6 months old, was brought to me as dead and very underweight for its age. And when I did the autopsy, I saw something after all these autopsies, after 20,000 plus autopsies, 454 species of animals and 3,000 humans, I had never seen this before. I looked it up in monkeys, and it hadn't been recorded ever before in monkeys. And so I looked it up in humans, and it said it was cystic fibrosis in humans. I said, oh, maybe I found the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis, which it turns out it did. Well, I sent off samples of the tissue on microscopic slides to experts in pathology of cystic fibrosis around the world. And then when I told them it was a monkey and not a human being, they really got excited because, oh, now we can do research. I had done biopsies of these other living baby monkeys, pancreas and liver and lungs, and they all had cystic fibrosis. So I knew it was an environmental problem. And I found where there was a breakdown in the feeding procedures, and I knew exactly what caused the cystic fibrosis in that monkey and all the other monkeys. Well, I got excited and, of course, submitted that to the National Institutes of Health. They wanted me to give a speech in Baltimore, Maryland, and share this with other pathologists. And when I wrote it all down and gave it to them as a abstract so they could put in the program of invitations, they fired me. They said, Wallach, you must be sniffing glue. Everybody knows cystic fibrosis is genetic. It can't be not genetic. And they fired me. I said, now, don't I get to defend my research like a PhD student does to a committee? No, we'd be laughed out of the university if we just are afraid to even bring that up. We wouldn't even invite a committee to listen to your research. And so I was fired. At the time, my wife was having a bout with Hodgkin's disease, a young person's cancer. And I talked to the doctors there, and they said, look, we have this new treatment, no negative side effects, 95% cure rate for Hodgkin's disease. You have everything to gain, nothing to lose by trying it. They gave her, Josephine, my wife, this wondrous treatment, and the treatment killed her. The treatment killed her, even though they said there was no negative side effects of the treatment. She's always been there through everything that's gone on with the cystic fibrosis story as a result. And certainly, as books have been written, she's always involved, and I'm always very proud of her. And everybody should know that this is a family adventure, not just a scientific adventure.
Dr. Wallach was faced with a major decision. Was he going to stick with the path he was on, having been a very well-respected pathologist, having been a very well-respected veterinarian with published papers, or was he going to go against the giants and stay true to the passion and his discoveries that he's had, and to share these nutritional protocols that will bless the lives of millions? This is a typical David and Goliath story. I mean, here's a guy that just lost his wife and is left with young children to raise by himself, and he's fired for a major discovery that goes against the political, medical system of the time. What would normally discourage most people was really fuel to the fire of Dr. Wallach's passion to help people understand what they need to do nutritionally to protect themselves. Dr. Wallach decided that the only thing he could do to be true to himself and his findings was to go back to a university and earn yet another degree so that he could treat humans with his nutritional discoveries. At the core of Dr. Wallach's biggest findings is the fact that our bodies need 90 essential nutrients for us to thrive. And that came out of a question that he asked his father as a young boy: why do we feed our animals better nutrition than we feed ourselves? But the vitamins and minerals that our bodies need aren't in our foods. They're not in our foods because the essential nutrients just aren't in the depleted soil we use to grow our food. We have to supplement that food. Think about it. That's what I love about Dr. Wallach's message. It's so simple. It's right in front of our faces. You know, they've cured hundreds of diseases in these animals that are still prevalent in human life by strictly using nutrition. Veterinarians can't afford to use modern medicines. They use nutrition to cure animals of these diseases and have healthy livestock. So all Dr. Wallach's message is to apply those same protocols in human life, and he's had so much success.